take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hey, hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern. We are so glad you've taken time out of your day to spend with us. I want to remind you that you can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or go to rightonthemoneyshow.com. Now, today I am pleased to be joined by our friend Pat Ginefra, certified financial educator and founder of MyLifeBroker.com. Pat, it is great to have you here, sir.
Dennis, good to see you again.
It is always good to get you out from the East Coast into the Midwest. You brought the heat with you, but that's okay.
I did. I'm sorry about that. But no, it's always great to be out here in Kansas City and meet with the team and get some input from you guys.
I wanted to talk to you about, one of the biggest things is, how has COVID been impacting retirees and the folks that you help?
In a number of ways. I think probably most importantly is it's creating an urgency for people to retire, whereas someone might have had maybe three or five more years before they were really thinking about retirement. They've kind of moved that up depending on what industry they're in.
Oh, absolutely.
For example, healthcare. A lot of those folks have been put in a position where they want to shorten that time frame now to retirement. So they're looking to do things a little bit earlier, and of course that changes the game a little bit for them.
What kind of trade-offs are you seeing? What kind of decisions? Because if you're going to retire longer, you have to fund more years. What are you seeing? Well,
we're seeing people maybe retire before they're really at that optimal Social Security age. So they need some to bridge some income or fill a gap earlier. Maybe they don't want to turn the Social Security on quite at this point, if they're maybe 62, 63, but they're looking at retiring. So there's a requirement there to bridge some of that income, and certainly they can use some of their IRA or other assets to do that. But that takes careful planning. Once you engage in that type of situation, you really have to make sure that you're putting things in the right order and that you're not short-sighted in some of the approaches that you take.
Now, speaking of approaches, one thing that you have always preached and helped people with is the idea of putting together a blueprint when it comes to retirement. Tell us a little bit about that. That's, my gosh, that's really has to have changed and been kind of thrown a little topsy-turvy.
It's true, and I think having a blueprint or a plan in place today is more important than ever because of the risk and just the uncharted waters that we're on. What we're seeing is a lot of people, because of the uncertainty and the fact that the markets continue to just kind of go up, and people are a little bit maybe overconfident in some of their choices. They need to understand that risk is still out there, and they need to understand how much of that risk they're actually taking on to get the returns that they're taking. So it really becomes important to have a blueprint so you understand the basic plan, the plot plan, so to speak, of where you're headed. A lot of folks are waiting for different things and maybe they're procrastinating or they're delaying these decisions because they're waiting for certain things to develop. We call that window dressing. That's kind of like where the windows and doors go if you're building a home. Sure. You can change those at the last moment, right? It doesn't really matter if the door goes here or the window goes there, but it's that basic blueprint plan that you need.
You got to have that solid foundation.
You have to have a solid foundation. So to use that building metaphor, this is really about understanding the structure and the foundation, and then the incidental, so to speak, or the windows and doors can be moved at any time.
We're going to take a quick break, but coming up on Right on Money, Pat and I are going to discuss the dangers of a 12-and-a-half-year bull market and why that actually can be a dangerous thing. You do not want to miss that. We're also going to talk about the impact of the housing bubble on maybe your retirement. We'll see you on the other side of the break.